All right, we live. Let's clap it up. Shalom, DC, with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yahanna. Since 1969, we've been teaching the truth of the Bible, and the truth is that the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians are the true Jews, and that our oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. We are not affiliated with any other Christian organization or Hebrew Israelite group. 1 West is home with the truth, and it lies with 1 West and 1 West only. If you want to be in the truth, come get in class, get in all black, do your 90 days, and you will be in the truth. You will be a follower of Christ. You know what I'm saying? Christ is your king, and that's the only one who you should be following. And until he returns, Commanding General Yahanna is in charge, and the men that he put in charge, we're supposed to obey. All right. And you can just tell how the way Commanding General Yahanna is in charge and the men that he's put in charge just by the fruit of his labors. You know what I'm saying? Just doing exactly what the Most High has for us to do. Do what Christ showed us by example of what to do. You know what I'm saying? We should fear the Most High more than we fear losing our job, more than we fear losing our woman, more than we fear scrutiny and so-called being outcasts to society from our friends and family. We should fear the Most High more than we fear how the way our kids think of us. You know what I'm saying? This is how the Most High put things in order, and Christ feared the Most High more than he feared anything else. He obeyed the Most High more than he's more than anything. You know what I'm saying? He loved and obeyed the Most High more than he loved his life, his own life. How do we know this? Because he was tortured and killed and left for dead for the Most High and for all the Akim and Aquathium. Can any of you Christians say anything like that? Would you actually give up? You can't even give up pork. You can't even give up pork. But you wanna say you would be willing to lay down your life. You can't even give up Christmas. You can't give up Hanukkah. I don't even know who celebrates Hanukkah, to be honest with you. You can't give up the what is least. And I'm not saying some of these laws are least, because according to Romans 6:23, the wages of sin is death. You do any of the sin, you are committing your own death. You know what I'm saying? But you can't even give up cigarettes. You can't even give up, being promiscuous if you're a woman. You can't even give up throwing away these women if you lay with them, if you're a man. You can't give up whoremongering. According to the Bible, if you lay with a woman, she is your woman for life. She is your rib for life. You understand? And if we can't even do these simple things, how are we expected to go to the Most High and say we deserve, or we want to be in the kingdom of heaven? Not only just gain entry into the kingdom of heaven, but have some sort of power. We don't have any power here in this stinking kingdom, and you want to give up your inheritance to have power in the kingdom that is going to be everlasting. You know what I'm saying? Scripture tells you that you should have an inheritance that you should pass down from to your children's children. You know what I'm saying? How are we going to do that? By disobeying the Most High. He gave us a script in order to gain the kingdom of heaven, in order to be in charge forever and pass down that power to our children forever. But we can't, like I said, we can't even give up birthdays. We can't even give up these heathen holidays. We can't do the simple things. You know what I'm saying? We can't do the simple thing. We can't give up seafood boils, eating these unholy things. We can't even do the simple things. When it comes time, how are we going to be able to judge a weightier matter? You know what I'm saying? How are we going to be able to judge something as serious as a child coming up to you and telling you that someone in their household is molesting them. You can't even put down pork, and you be expected to judge a matter of that magnitude. Nah. You have no self-control over yourself. So how in the world are you going to weigh some other weightier matter? You want to know who can? The men and women in this book. You know what I'm saying? In the volume of the book. We're about to get, I'm gonna show you exactly how true followers of the Most High act in the face of life and death. We all have a choice. We all have a choice to celebrate Christmas. We all have a choice to eat a ham sandwich. We all have a choice to remember the Sabbath. We all have a choice to go to war against the principalities of this world. We all have a choice. Some of us choose to actually read and study the text that was passed down from generation to generation and actually do it. And some of us just look at it as a cool story and say it's irrelevant now. It was only relevant back then. It's irrelevant now. It's just a story. Look at it like a Marvel movie. Nah, that's not the way it is. We're going to read exactly how our people stood up for the beliefs that the Most High had given us since Adam. You know what I'm saying? Let's get 2 Maccabees chapter 7.
Come, sir.
Read that from verse 1.
2 Maccabees chapter 7 verse 1. And
Sorry,
it came.
Hold on 1 second. So 1 second. If anybody wants to get on the live and want to ask a question or anything like that, message the I.S.U.P.K Washington D.C. Facebook page. Just message the Facebook page and we'll see what we can do about getting you on. All right. Go ahead.
2 Maccabees chapter 7 verse 1. And it came to pass also that 7 brethren with their mother were taken and compelled by the king against the law to taste swine's flesh, and were tormented with scourges and whips.
So right here in the very first verse, it's saying 7 brothers and their mother. 7 brothers and their mother were taken against their will, and they were compelled to eat pork. And they knew it was against the our law. These heathens knew it was against our law to do that. And they were compelling us, forcing us to do it. You know what I'm saying? And it said that we were tortured. These 7 brothers were tortured if they wouldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Keep going.
But one of them that spake first said thus.
Hold up. But one of them said something. He said something. And what did he say?
What wouldest thou ask or learn of us? We are ready to die, rather than to transgress the laws of our fathers.
So he said, what you're saying for us to do, we would rather die than to turn our face from what our fathers have taught us since the beginning. He said we would rather die. If anybody's seen, it was this old movie. It was this old movie called man, I forget the name of it. It was one of them old Steven Seagal movies. I think it was Hard to Kill. You know what I'm talking about? Where it was these Jamaicans that he went up against these Jamaicans, and it was I think it was Hard to Kill. But they got one of the they cornered one of the dealers that was in the guy's crew. This dude's crew was called Screwface, or his name was Screwface. Right? They caught him. He was in his apartment and whatnot, and he couldn't get away. Right? So he was like, tell us about his operation, tell us what he does, and this and that. Tell us everything. And he was like, you crazy? Man, Screwface will kill me 100 different ways more than you'll kill me. And then he went and jumped out the goddamn window. He feared his boss more than he feared the cops, more than he feared the law. None of us fear God more than eating a ham sandwich, more than that woman, more than the job, more than what society thinks. We fear what society thinks of us, this quote unquote cancel culture, more than we fear the Most High. Who gives a goddamn about the cancel? The Most High is the ultimate cancel culture. Do you know he canceled the entire lineages? When he sends Christ back, he's going to cancel an entire race, and the race will be 100% totally canceled. You can only see or hear about them if you read it in a book or go to a museum. That's the only time you're going to be able to see this race that's going to get canceled by the Most High. And you're afraid of what people think about you? The scripture says, fear not what a man can do. Fear not that a man can kill the body, but not the soul. But fear him that can kill both the soul and the body. That's the Most High. He what he's going to do to the oppressor, the race of the oppressor. He's going to both kill them physically, and then he's going to kill their spirit, their soul. Fear that more than jail, more than a prison sentence, more than losing your job. Fear that more than losing your woman. How about your household, your family, your kids? Fear the Most High more than that. These men feared the Most High more than they feared death. The king, this is the king's order. If anybody's ever lived in a kingdom, and we live in a kingdom, even though there's a new head every 4 to 8 years, it's still a kingdom. Why? How do we know this? Because the kingdom says you're going to pay us 30 to 40% of your money before you even get it. And you do it. You obey it. The kingdom says, you can only go 55 miles an hour on this highway or on this stretch of road. Most of us do it. Most of us do it. Some of us only do it when we see, cop cars or whatever. The point is the king says something and we obey it. The king says this is a directive, this is an order, and we obey it. But you know what? The king doesn't say you must put up a Christmas tree in your house, or you must go out and buy some charcoal and set up a grill on the 4th day of the 7th month of every year. Nah, he doesn't say that. But most of our people are the ones out there with the red, white, and blue shorts and the red, white, and blue shirt and the hat and the sunglasses and cooning it up. Well, this country, this singing kingdom was free of its oppressors at the same time oppressing us. At the same time oppressing us, they felt the need to be free from what they believed was their oppressor. But they had no idea how they were oppressing us. It didn't come to mind like, hey, maybe we should set these group of people free. No, because they are animals. They are animals. And what they're about to do to these 7 brothers and this mother is nothing but animalistic. Let's keep reading and see exactly what they did.
Verse 3. Then the king, being in a rage, commanded panes and cauldrons to be made wot, which forward.
So it is pans and cauldrons.
Sadak, sir.
No sweat.
Then the king, being in rage, commanded pans and cauldrons to be made wit, which forthwith being heated, he commanded.
Hold on 1 second. So it says the king in his rage. He can't even control his own emotion. He can't control his own emotion. He's given a commandment that goes against our beliefs. F what you talking about. I believe this and I live this. I live by it and I die by it. This is what the eldest brother said. And the king was highly upset. He was like, nah, no, Do you know, like even now, there's still monarchs around the world. There's still monarchs. At least in the monarchy, quote unquote, because I use that term loosely, in the United Kingdom, like you can't turn your back on the queen. It's certain things, certain protocols that you must obey or abide by within the royal family. You know what I'm saying? When I say the royal family, I'm talking about, the kings, the princes, the duchess, whoever, and within that royal family. You're not supposed to turn your back on them. You're not supposed to touch them unless they offer, their hand out to you. You can't touch them. You damn sure can't disrespect them, or there are some consequences and repercussions that are there to be met out. So this king is going in that mindset. You telling me no? I don't give a damn about what you believe in. I'm your God. That's basically what he's saying. I'm your God. I'm telling you what to do, and you're supposed to obey exactly what I tell you to do. But these brothers were raised right. They were raised to believe after the Most High. They were raised to obey the commandments, law, statutes, and commandments, and pass it down from generation to generation. They believed it so much that they were willing to do anything for it. This king was so upset that anybody could disobey his commandments, his commands, that he got so hot that he pulled out pans and cauldrons. Anybody know what a cauldron? Cauldron is, if you ever looked at them old cartoons where them witches be stirring their pots and whatnot. That's a big cauldron right there. So he ordered to get them pans and them cauldrons out and heat them up. Keep going.
Verse 4, which forthwith being heated, he commanded to cut out the tongue of him that spake first.
So he said, cut his tongue out because I don't want to hear him talking. He ordered to have his tongue cut out. So this is what's going on. They were ordered to eat pork, which is against our traditions, our laws. Is against our laws. The Most High commanded us not to do this. They were commanded to eat it. They said, no, we're not going to do this. This is against our law. We were taught this from children. And because of that, what happened? He got his tongue cut out as he's watching them heat up the cauldron and the pans. Let's continue on and see what else is going to happen to him.
Come. And to cut off the utmost parts of his body.
So what? So they chopped him into pieces. They cut him up. They man, I seen this one video. I don't even know if I should say it. I seen this one video. This dude, man, if anybody ever seen anything like this, it's traumatizing. Like seriously, it is traumatizing. I'm not even gonna say it, but to be hacked up, to be cut up into pieces, have your limbs cut off, your arms and your legs cut off. You know what I'm saying? Have pieces of you cut off while you're yet alive. And only thing you could do is scream. It's not like you can say anything because he got his tongue cut out. And all of this is happening in front of his other brothers and his mother. And there was no might in their hand to do anything. They couldn't do anything. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they're gonna go peacefully and see. And this is another notion. This is another notion for Christians think. They think that he said he would. First of all, they don't even believe in the Apocrypha. They don't believe in this. They don't even know this story. Be honest with you, because they don't even know that this book exists. That's another way to let you know that there is no truth in them. Secondly, they believe in eating the pork. Go ahead and eat the pork. And as a matter of fact, Muslims say in their book, in their quote unquote holy book, and I use that word loosely, in their book, it tells you that you can do certain things that's against their law. You can drink, you can whore, you can be a sodomite, you can do drugs, you can eat swine. If it is to save your life, that's what their book tells you. So that tells me that these Christians are really really Muslim. You know what I'm saying? They believe in a different God. They're out here, all you gotta do is say grace over, over this abomination, and then you're good, and then it's all good. But the Most High says no, no, no. Christians don't even believe in the book that they read. You know what I'm saying? Moreover, they believe that they were going willingly. Like, all right, well, you say I gotta die. Nah. There was no might in their hand. When I say there's no might in their hand, they were, quote unquote, they didn't have guns, but they had swords, pointing spears. You know what I'm saying? Weapons pointed at them. If they made another move, they was going to. How do you think they were cut up? How do you think he was cut up? How do you think he got his tongue cut out? You know what I'm saying? They had the quote unquote the proverbial gun pointed to their heads. If you move, we're going to shoot. So it's not like they were going laying down. At least this one. We're going to read how it progressed, because these brothers were taught right. They were taught one West. You know what I'm saying? They knew after seeing this, they knew what was going to happen. Right? Keep going.
Khan. The rest of his brethren and his mother looking on.
Right? So all this happened right in front of their eyes. All of it happened right in front of their eyes, and they're seeing what's going on. Keep going.
Now when he was dismayed in all his members, he commanded him, being yet alive.
So hold on. So after he cut off his limbs, cut his tongue out, this dude was still alive. I don't know if you know anything about the human body, but you being from DC, you know about that football player Sean Taylor, who died about 10 years ago or so. You know how he died?
Nah, sir.
Well, he had an injury. He was supposed to be at a game, but since he had an injury, he didn't travel with the team. He was home. Somebody tried to they broke into his home, tried to rob him. They didn't know he was there. They shot him in the leg.
Ooh, wait.
They shot him in the leg. You know how, and he died from that gunshot wound. Do you know why he died from that gunshot wound?
He bled out.
He bled out. One gunshot, to the leg. You would think, most people think, hey, you get shot in the leg, all right, you'll be able to live to tell about the story or whatnot. But he got shot in the leg, and it hit one of the major arteries. One of the major arteries, femoral. I want to say that. Forgive me if I'm saying it wrong, but it was a major artery in his leg that burst. He bled out. He didn't know how to. He didn't know how to stop the bleeding. He was there by himself, so he couldn't get help. He bled out. Now, just imagine if you get your arm. If you get your arm cut off, both arms, both legs, you know how much blood is spilling out? You know how much blood is spilling out? And honestly, you can bleed out really fast. You know what I'm saying? The blood coming out of his mouth because of the cut in his tongue. You know how fast you can bleed out? You can bleed out in minutes, literally. Literally, you can bleed out in minutes. Just the way blood, it just keeps gushing, pumping out. It has nowhere to go. It just leaves your body. You'll be knocked out long before you even before you die. You know what I'm saying? After a certain amount of blood loss, even a certain amount of pain, your body will just go into shock, and you won't feel nothing. You won't hear nothing. You're not there, but you're still alive. You know what I'm saying? This brother had his arms and legs and tongue cut out. He was still alive. And yet, while he was still alive, what happened? They didn't leave it. They didn't leave it at that. They didn't let just, all right, well, he's going to bleed out. He's about to die soon. All this in front of his family. The only family he has left on earth, right? All this in front of his family. Keep going.
Khan. To be brought to the fire and to be fried in the pan.
So after he's still alive and he's losing blood, and Bible says 2 quarts of blood loss, you'll pass out. 2 quarts of blood loss, that's really not a lot. That's a lot, but that's not a lot. Especially if you cutting whole limbs off. Just how fast, people blood comes out. Do you know the number one? Okay, so this war that the U.S. lost, in Afghanistan and Iraq, there was a lot of casualties. I don't know the numbers. It was a couple thousand. It's a couple thousand of the men and women that was over there that died. Do you know the number one cause of death?
Lie, sir.
The number one. Okay, so it doesn't matter exactly how they got these injuries. They may have gotten an injury through an IED, vehicle-borne IED, gunshots, shrapnel. Some explosion and just shrapnel just coming through them and tearing them up. Just the concussion of the bomb. You know what I'm saying? Of all that, the way they get these injuries, the number one reason that they die is because of blood loss. It is because they may have survived that incident, but they weren't able to stop the bleeding. They weren't able to stop. If anybody's ever been to any of these, whether you've been in Esau's military or you're in the emergency room triage or the ambulance business, if you have anything that deals with bleeding, there's an acronym. I forget the name. I forget what the acronym is, but it's stop the bleeding, start the breathing, protect the wound, and treat for shock. So basically, if you got some carnage in front of you, and they're not breathing, the very first thing you have to do is stop the bleeding. Because if you don't stop the breathing and you get them to start breathing, they're just going to die because you need blood to circulate through your body. So the very first thing you need to do is stop the bleeding. And then you go down the list, start the breathing, then you treat the wound, blah, 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 protect for shock, right? So this brother had his limbs cut off. His brother has limbs cut off. He was still alive. And then they told him, they ordered the guards, the torturers, the tormentors, the oppressor, to then put his remaining of his body in the fire and cook him alive. Like I said, what kind of beast, what kind of animal thinks of something like that? Whose man's is who actually really who thinks of this? Because someone said, I'm not doing what you say, I'm doing what the Most High says. Who thinks of this? The oppressor thinks of this. And this is why the Most High is going to cancel the oppressor in the utmost way. Did you have some?
Oh, Sadaki, sir. I just had a question.
Yeah. What's up?
Was the king was he Esau, Edomite?
This is the Maccabees. This is the time we're under the I want to say this is the time we're under the I want to say the Greeks or the Romans. It might be the Romans. Hold on. But either way, yes, it's Esau. This is Esau.
Okay.
Because just during this time of the Maccabees, we were fighting against we're fighting against Esau anyway. We're fighting against the Greeks, and we got in league with the Romans. So either way, it is Esau. Yes. Let's continue on going.
And as the vapor of the pan was for a good space dispersed, they exhorted one another with the mother to die manfully, saying this.
What do you think that means? That last part that you said, that you read, there's this last part of the verse, and as a vapor of the pan. What does that mean? What do you think that means?
Salaki, the smell of his burning flesh.
Yeah, from the smell of his burning flesh. Keep going. What else for the rest of it? Read that part again. Read that part again, if you could.
And as the vapor of the pan was for a good space dispersed, they exhorted one another with the mother to die manfully, saying this.
What is this part saying?
Salaki, is it saying Lassa, I don't know.
No sweat. So read that part one more time, Baba Kashar.
And as the vapor of the pan was for a good space dispersed, they exhorted one another with the mother to die manfully.
So basically, this is what they're saying. Is what they're saying. So after they see their brother get his tongue cut out, get his limbs hacked off, and then him being put into a damn cauldron in a pan to fry alive, still alive. And as they smelling this, the fumes of burning flesh, of their flesh, you know what I'm saying, their blood, brother, as they're smelling this, they looking one to another, and they be like, you know what? We about this life. This is what it means to be a true follower of the Most High. This is what it means to be a true follower of the Most High. What happened to our brother is what's going to happen to us. So we ain't gonna puss out. We ain't gonna turn yellow. We ain't gonna turn coward. We ain't gonna turn Christian. And we gonna die manfully. Whatever they gonna throw at us, we're gonna take it and strive. You know what I'm saying? We're content with losing our life for this, because what the Most High has for us, if we disobey Him, is going to be 1,000 times worse. It's going to be 1,000 times worse than getting chopped up, than getting having our tongues cut out, and then being cooked alive. What the Most High has for us will be worse than that. You might think, what in the hell is worse than being cut up in front of your mama? Cut up, hacked to pieces, and cooked alive. What's worse than that? You might think what's worse than that. What do you think? You think there's anything worse than that?
Nah, sir.
Nah. That sounds bad. But how about monkeypox?
Calm.
How about that? How about you having some oh, damn. How about you having some pox all over your mouth and on your tongue? Well, goddamn. How about being a crackhead, a meth head, a dope fiend, going through life like that? How about being one of them? Handicapped persons that's like the size of a baby, and they're a grown person, like they can only move like their arms and whatnot, and get around with the wheelchair. You know what I'm saying? Going through life like that. How about having cerebral palsy, where your bones just atrophy and you wind up like that devil? Man, what was his name? That couldn't even move. He couldn't talk. He had to have like a facial recognition where the voice came out. You know what I'm talking about?
Nah, sir.
You know what I'm talking about. The mother, he was like a genius. He was like a string theory type genius. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Oh man, he died a few years ago. Stephen Hawkins. Yeah, that's it. Stephen Hawkins.
Okay.
This dude was in a wheelchair. He couldn't move. He couldn't move. He couldn't talk. He could basically blink. And he had that disease when he was like in his early 20s. I want to say he found out when he's in his early 20s. He died when he was 60, 70 years old. So throughout his whole life, he was stuck in a wheelchair. Couldn't move, couldn't blink, couldn't care for himself, couldn't do anything. Couldn't do anything. Now that's over decades where he's stuck in a wheelchair. Can't move, can't do anything. And from what I understand, before that, he was something of a superstar in that space. So it was a lot of women throwing themselves at him. Going from that to being in a wheelchair can't even please yourself. Now tell me, what would you rather have? About 10, 15 minutes of getting chopped up and obeying the Most High, or disobeying the Most High and wind up like something like a Stephen Hawkins? Wind up in a wheelchair, wind up, totally destroyed, wind up having to sell yourself for some food. There are some things worse than death, believe it or not. And some of these horror stories that you hear about these people, that's because the Most High allowed it to happen. You don't want to be on the side where the Most High allows something like that to happen to you. You do whatever it takes to have them consequences come. If you obey, you should obey the Most High, but you don't want to be on that side where the Most High was like, he's taking, all right, this nigga disobeyed me. I want something special for this dude right here. Let me hear all takers. Nah. Drive by shoe, nah, it's too easy. How about getting framed for something that he ain't do? Nah, that's too easy. He ain't going. Nah. How about we strike him down with some incurable disease that people don't even know about? All right. What are the symptoms? You know what I'm saying? All right, let's see. What's that? Okay, bleeding from the eyes. Okay, all right, okay. Your nails fall out. Okay. How about your hair? What up? What else? How about your blood feels like it's boiling and there's nothing that you can do? Okay. Well, will they die from it in about 10 or 15 years? So they gotta live with that for 10 to 15 years. That's what he deserved. Some things are worse. Some things are worse than death. How about like in the case of Elijah? I want to say Elijah, where he loved his wife, his woman, so much that he disobeyed the Most High, and the Most High came and took and killed his wife. You think the Most High is just after you? How about he does all that to your kid? I saw a video, and I'm rambling on. Slakia. I saw a video where this girl was born with a heart outside of her chest, and she survived, longer than the doctors actually, wondered now or predicted. Now imagine you having a kid and your kid has to go through that because you decided to eat pork, because you decided to celebrate your wife's birthday, or you decided to celebrate your husband's birthday if you're a woman. How about that? Has any of us ever thought about that? That is not just us. We have to think about the people that we love, our loved ones. The Most High can still get to you by destroying somebody else that you love. And it'll happen right in front of you, and there is nothing you can do about it. You ever see somebody? Now I've heard stories about people who had loved ones who had cancer, and they go from what they knew how they were to being swept away. Like they disintegrate in the matter of, you know, sometimes years, sometimes months. They just, you know, whittle away into nothing and then die. And there's nothing that you can do, nothing that the doctors can do, nothing that this modern medicine can do, is nothing that you can do. And imagine that's because you decided to disobey the Most High God. Imagine that being a wake-up call to you when all you had to do was listen to the Most High. The first time, none of this would have happened. There are some things worse than death. There are some things worse than death. If you, because not everybody gets this call. Be honest with you, not everybody. The scripture says, you know, only my sheep will hear my voice. What that means is he's not doing it. Let me make this absolutely clear. There's only going to be 144,000 men that is going to be in charge and rulership. Unfortunately, there's only going to be 1/3 of our people that is going to be saved at the end. It's only going to be 1/3. If you don't understand that the Jews are Black, Hispanic, and Native American, and the law is not done away with, that's how the way the Most High wants it to be. That's how the way the Most High wants it to be. But if you do understand it and you go against that, there's nothing no one can do about what's going to come. Because he gave you the understanding to understand that the truth. And then if you reject the truth, knowing that there's some people that's just not going to get it, that he's not going to allow to come in at this point in time, they're just going to have to be reborn through be regenerated in the kingdom. I don't want to be on that side. I don't want to be on that side. And if any of you brothers and sisters out there that is actually listening and waiting for whatever stupid reason, and I'm telling you, whatever reason that you think that is so important that you have to wait to see or wait, it's a stupid reason. Don't sit on the fence, because tomorrow ain't promised. When I say tomorrow ain't promised, the Most High's grace is but so long. The Most High's grace is but so long. Get up off the fence. Come into the I.S.U.P.K. if you're Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian. If anybody else, doesn't matter, because this ain't to you. This ain't to you. You know what I'm saying? But if you on the fence, get off the fence. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're going to be in someone like Elijah's shoes, where he's going to kill somebody that you loved right in front of you. There's nothing you could do about it. You don't want to be on that side. That is just to get your attention. Just to get your look at Jonah. Jonah was swallowed up in a big fish because he ran from the Most High. Now he could Most High could have killed him right then and there. He could have had him drowned or anything like that. But he did something to get his attention. And once he was spit up, he didn't change clothes. He didn't go to the bathroom to freshen. He didn't take a shower. He didn't bathe. He didn't do nothing. He just went straight to Nineveh and deliver the message. That's exactly what he did. Don't be on that side to whereas the Most High has to check you. It's gonna be just. But remember, the Most High is a gangster. He is a gangster. You understand? So these men and this woman feared the Most High more than they feared death. They seen what happened to their brother. The woman seen what happened to her son, and she was like, well, this is what the Lord wants. This is what the Lord is going to get. You understand? Let's keep reading.
Verse 6. The Lord God looketh upon us, and in truth hath comfort in us, as Moses in his song, which witnessed to their face, declared, saying, and he shall be comforted in his servants. So when the first was dead, after this manner, they brought the second to make him a mocking stock. Slaki.
No sweat.
And when they had pulled off the skin of his head with the hair, they asked.
What does that mean?
They peeled his Salaka. They peeled his head back.
Yeah. They scalped him.
Calm.
They scalped him. They took his hair, and they cut the skin from his head. Who did that to us?
The white man, our oppressor.
Yeah, who they do that to predominantly?
Salaki, the native First Nation Indians.
Yeah, they did that to them. And then they had the nerve to call them Redskins after it. Had the nerve to call them Redskins, call our brothers Redskins because of the amount of blood that just come pouring, gush out. I don't know. Again, I don't know if you've actually seen somebody get their wig split. But once that actually happens, blood. When you say, have you ever seen like give me like during a big college win, predominantly in football, they don't really do this in basketball, but predominantly in football, they douse the coach with water over the Gatorade or whatever.
Con.
You see how the way the water just comes rushing out is just there.
Con, sir.
That's like the blood. Blood just comes pouring, gushing out. That's why it was. That's why when I said that this dude was still alive after he had his arms and legs cut off, to understand how the way the body works, even though the body is resilient, that body went into shock. Even though after all that blood loss, the body, and when the body goes into shock, what it does, it shuts everything else down and keeps the core organs. It tries to keep the core organs alive, so it shuts down, minimal function to the brain, and it shuts everything. If you still have a limb, whatever, kind of draws the blood in, and so it keeps the major organs going. Because once you have the major organs fail, that's it. A lot of times you can't bring that stuff back, right? So the body is very resilient in that manner. Once you have blood loss to that effect, man, that and that's how when you get like two cords, that's when you pass out, because the body is shutting down, trying to protect the major organs until some outside help or whatever gets there. But yeah, they made him a mocking stick and took him around and had people look at what's going on, what's about to happen to him. And then they scalped him. And after they scalped him, keep reading.
Slaki.
No sweat.
And when they had pulled off the skin of his head with the hair, they asked him, wilt thou eat before thou be punished throughout every member of thy body?
So what is he saying there? What is he asking him?
Salaki. They asked him, is he going to eat this pork, or are they going to have to cut off all of his body parts?
Exactly. That's exactly what he's being asked. And what is his response? Keep going.
Verse 8. But he answered in his own language and said,
keep going.
And said no.
So he said la. He answered in his own language. That's a spit in their eyes. You know how angry the oppressor gets when they hear the northern tribes speaking Spanish? This is America. Speak English. You know what I'm saying? They get pissed off when you speak anything other than English. So he did this to spite them. He didn't say no in their language. He said no in his language. La. And they knew exactly what that meant. They knew exactly what that meant. And you got other, fake groups out there that just give up on the Hebrew. Just give up on it, saying we don't need it. We don't need it anymore. Well, in this time, if they were ever put in a situation like this, they wouldn't even get a chance to just say no. They most likely just take the pork. They would just take the pork. They would be there. There are Al Sharptons, our Jesse Jacksons, our Martin Luther Kings. You know what I'm saying? That's those people. Those are the Malcolm X's. Even as militant as you think he is, those are the Malcolm X's. You know what I'm saying? The Elijah Muhammad's, the Khalil, I forget his name. Doesn't matter. Exactly. And when it says Pagabo says remember the times of old, that means remember our language also. Exactly. We need to remember our language. This brother basically spit in their eye and said la'ah. Keep going.
Khan. Wherefore he also received the next torment in order as the former did.
So he had his tongue cut out. He had his arms and legs cut off, and then he was cooked in a pot. That's Khalid Abdul Muhammad. Yeah. Even though you think he's militant, nah, he ain't doing what these brothers are doing. In the face, they seen what's going to happen, how the way their brothers acted, how the way their brothers screamed, how the way their brothers' blood flew all over the place, how the way their brothers' limbs fell to the ground after they were cut off. They seen this. They didn't just hear about it. It's one thing to hear about something like, damn, man, that's tough. That's hardcore. But to see your brother, who you known your whole life, who you done everything with, to see him being tortured and maimed in front of your eyes, and you can't do a goddamn thing about it, and then you up next, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Oh, well, we're gonna see what the other brothers did. Keep going.
Khan, verse 9. And when he was at the last gasp, he said, Thou like a fury takest us out of the present life, but the king of the world.
Hey, you still there?
Is it back on?
Yeah, you back on. Read it from the top again, Baba Kishore.
Khan, sir. And when he was at the last gasp, he said, Thou like a fury takest us out of the present life, but the king of the world shall raise us up, who have died for his laws unto everlasting life.
Right here. So he knows exactly what the hell is going on. He knows what is going on. Don't be afraid of the man don't be afraid of him that can kill the body and not destroy the soul. But rather be afraid of him that can both destroy the body and the soul into hell. You know what I'm saying? Them people who have cerebral palsy and the people who has these incurable diseases and the people who are addicted to drugs and alcohol and whatnot, they're in hell. You know what I'm saying? That is hell. Especially if you were functional if you were functional to a degree and you excelled in many spaces, and then you don't have those functions to do the basic of things, man, that's hell. That is hell. That is absolute hell. These incurable diseases, the Most High can cure them. The Most High can cure them. But why even put yourself or your family at risk to be in that position when he's telling you, obey. Just obey the Most High. Obey the Most High. These Christian pastors, they don't even know what the hell they talking about, because one note they're saying, do this, and Don't eat pork. Don't eat shrimp, crab, or lobster. But give me your money. Give me your tithes. And then they say, nah, you know what? After I got my jet plane, I told you I needed that jet plane. I put all my kids through college, and I bought all the houses and set them up for generations and generations to come. I was wrong. I wasn't supposed to take your money in the first. They don't know what the hell they talking about. There's a scripture that says, you do not know what you serve, but we know who we serve. You know what I'm saying? The laws are not done away with. You're supposed to pay your tithes to Commanding General Yahanna. Go to ISUPK.com and click on the tithes button, and that's how you pay your tithes. That's the only place you need to pay your tithes. That's the only place you should pay your tithes. If you give your 10% to somebody else other than Commanding General Yahanna, you're not paying your tithes. You're just giving your money away. You're serving another God. That's what you're doing. You're serving another God. And you are at risk of all this hell that I was talking about. You and your family is at risk. Why? Because you're not obeying the Most High God. You can take that to the bank. Right. Let's continue on.
Khan, verse 10. After him was the third, made a mocking stock.
So they're doing the same thing, going down the list, going down the line, seeing who's going to break. Seeing who is going to break. Keep going.
And when he was required, he put out his tongue.
So he was like, yo, you ain't even got to ask me. Just, go ahead. Chop it off. Go ahead. Yo, that is hardcore. That is hardcore. You just see two of your brothers die, and they ain't letting you go. They ain't letting the rest of the family go. You just see two of your brothers get tortured, and put to death in front of your eyes. And you couldn't do anything. Now it's your turn. And his brother, he was like, "Go ahead, take my tongue." Yo, that is hardcore. That is one west. You know what I'm saying? They say my one west to the death. He was one west to the death. He did not lay down his sword at all at the face of being tortured and killed. Him and his family. Keep going.
Khan. And that right son holding forth his hands manfully, and said courageously, these I had from heaven, and for his laws I despised them.
Right.
And from him I hope to receive them again.
So so what do you think he's saying?
Sadak, he's saying basically God gave me these hands and I'll be back.
Yeah, exactly. He says he did not break the law. The Most High gave me these hands. I did not break the law. So you gonna take them basically, but the Most High gonna give them back. I'll be back. He understood regeneration. He understood there's life after death. You know what I'm saying? He's going to come back. Once you really understand that, once you understand that we do come back, that there is no eternal nothingness, or there's no eternal hell, or concept of a heaven if you only obey, some deity. If you only obey this, you will get to in the gates of heaven. Nah. This is a goddamn lie. 100%. This is a lie. And these I seen on Facebook that some scientists they're still perpetuating the falsehood. Some scientists did some facial reconstruction and they put out what Christ would have looked like. And you know what? He still looks like a goddamn white man. Like, are you serious? Like, come on. Like the concept of him not being a white man, an oppressor, is taking hold. Like even people who do not want to say he's black, they say, well, he can't be white because, you know, if he was born in this area and those people who over there in that area, they look like this, he can't be white, right? Even those people say he's not white. You still have oppressors out there, scientific people who don't even believe in religion, still perpetuate the lie, that lie. Like, these niggas got to be stopped. Like, are you serious? Come on, man. In 100 years, they're gonna be like, you know, they're gonna have some white man up as Denzel Washington. They're gonna have some white man up as, you know, Morgan Freeman, and say, man, these were the two greatest Negro actors of the 20th century. Yo, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Like, come on, man. Come on. They're gonna have Obama as the first black president looking white. But he ain't black. He's a Hamite. He's African. Even though, man, they appropriate everything. They appropriate everything, and it's just ridiculous. Like, come on, you look stupid, Ken. Let's keep going.
Khan. Verse 12. Insomuch that the king and they that were with him marveled at the young man's courage, for that he nothing regarded the pains.
The pains, yeah. So he was like, "Damn, this is a stand-up nigga." Okay, you seen Baby Boy? You seen Baby Boy when they stole the dude's bike and they caught up with them, and they lined them all up. And they went down the line, hitting them, right? And one dude, he's like, all right, this nigga got hard. Okay, this nigga got hard. I'm still gonna hit you. And he still hit him, right? That's exactly what happened right here. Oh, this little Jew got some heart. You see what he's doing? Get his ass anyway. Keep going.
Khan. Now, when this man was dead also, they tormented and mangled the fourth in like manner.
Yeah, the fourth in like manner, meaning they did the exact same thing to the fourth. Now, we got 4 sons that are dead in front of their other brothers and their mama. Keep going.
Khan. So when he was ready to die, he said this, it is good, being put to death by men, to look for hope from God to be raised up again by him. As for thee, thou shalt have no resurrection to life.
So he's already telling, he knows what's going to happen to them. What's he saying here?
Salaki, he's saying that I'm going to come back, but God is going to destroy you forever.
Exactly. He said he knows the scripture. He knows the prophecies. He knows what's going to happen to these bastards. He knows exactly what's going to happen to these bastards. He's saying, all right, yeah, I'm going to die, but I'm going to come back. Ain't no sweat. Ain't no sweat. I'm going to die, I'm going to come back. But y'all niggas, when y'all die, y'all ain't coming back. There will be an eternal emptiness for y'all bastards. There will never be Esau ever again. And I can go to my grave in comfort knowing that I am going to come back. And I'm probably going to be put in a better situation than I am in now because of my sacrifice. Hey, but I'll be back. You won't be. This goes to show you how different the Christians are. Because they don't believe that there's going to be a race that's going to be cut off from the face of the earth. They don't believe that. They don't believe that when Christ comes back, heads are going to roll. They don't believe that the Most High is the God of hosts, the God of an army. Why in the world would that be one of his titles if he ain't about to go to war? You know what I'm saying? Why would they know that that when Christ comes back, he's gonna come back on a white horse with a sword in his hand? What in the hell you think that sword is going to be for? These men know exactly the prophecies. These men know what's going to happen in the last days. If you up in I.S.U.P.K, you know what's going to happen in these days. These days are the last days. If you don't believe me, look at what Commanding General Yahanna has said years ago. You know what I'm saying? Just look at what he's having, and then look at what's happening right now. You have some?
Come on, sir. Sadaki, I was gonna say they said the COVID is coming back, killing people.
It ain't never went nowhere. It ain't never went nowhere. They say it coming back. It ain't never went nowhere. It's still here. Still here, and it brought his cousin, the monkeypox. Boy, I tell you, man. I don't understand, man. Maybe it's not for me to understand. You know what I'm saying? But I don't understand how all this crap that's out there, all these plagues, all these diseases, all these curses that's out there, and yet you still don't believe that the blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians are the true Jews, according to the Bible, and that our oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. I don't understand how you can be out there and be in the midst of COVID and the monkeypox, the recession, you know, homelessness, joblessness, and the arc of the I.S.U.P.K is right in the midst of you, right at your doorstep, literally on the corner, screaming in your face. Literally. And you and our people just turn a blind ear, attack us more than the oppressor. Why? Because they're in heaven and we're in hell, and we're telling everybody that their heaven is going to end very soon. Their heaven is crumbling. The kingdom is crumbling right before our eyes. We're not going to have to worry about having our arms and limbs cut off and being cooked in front of our family, because the Most High is going to send Christ back. It's about that time. It's about that time. You know what I'm saying? I believe wholeheartedly that the Most High is up in heaven. And he's talking to Christ. He's like, all right, this just you know, get prepared. You know, so I see him strapping up. You know, getting his garment ready. You know what I'm saying? Telling the angels, ready my horse. You know what I'm saying? We're about to tell commanding the hosts of heaven, like, y'all sharpen your swords. We about to be up out of here. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if anybody ever been in Esau's military, but you know, there's a certain aura, a certain spirit when you're about to go out to the field. You know what I'm saying? When you got, you know, the gear check, you got your, you know, your water check, you got all these checks before you actually go out. You know what I'm saying? And then there's a time where you're actually, you know, in line, like physically in line, about to march out. Man, I feel we're almost at that time. Like the Most High is telling the host and Christ, like, hey, y'all about to wreak some havoc. I know y'all been, you know, I've been holding y'all back for a minute, but I'm about to turn y'all loose. Unleash hell upon these, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Don't come.
We about that time. And you out here talking about FNF? Really? Really? You out here talking about a modern woman? You out here simping? Really? You out here bowing to your woman when she really wants to bow to you? All you got to do is stand up for yourself. I don't understand. Like I said, maybe it's not for me to understand. Maybe it's just not for me to understand. But Akim, Akwathian, whatever y'all doing, just stop it and come into the I.S.U.P.K. When what I just said is, brothers and sisters, stop what you're doing. Stop what you're doing. There is no FNF. There is no modern woman. You know what I'm saying? Men, you shouldn't be simps. I was just talking to the brother the other day, man. You know, things have gotten so weird, so backwards that how times past brothers used to have baggy clothes and whatnot. Now it's more quote unquote fitted, skinny stuff, pants. And you used to be made fun of if you had tight shirt on. You know what I'm saying? You'd be made fun of if you had some tight pants on. Now that's supposed to be the end thing. It's so bad that even the jewelry is tight. You got the goddamn chokers on. Like, you dead ass, son? You got a choker on, and you gonna talk to me like you want to talk to me like you my equal? I'm supposed to listen to you? You got on skinny jeans, a purse, and a choker, my nigga. What's up? What's the deal? You know what I'm saying? The chain that you got on, that would be considered, old school. Now niggas got chokers on, like, yeah, look at this. Nigga, I can't, no. No. You had some?
Oh, Salagi, sir, you covered it. I was just going to say they wearing purses too.
Yeah, niggas wearing purses. Cap brought it out a while back ago. He was like, do you brothers, when you put on your purses, do you turn around and look at your ass and say, this is what's up? Is that what y'all do? Is that what y'all do when y'all get dressed? Before y'all leave the crib, y'all grab your purse and look at your asses? Like, nigga. And you know what? Honestly, those brothers that Cap, check, I haven't seen them with purses on after that. Every time before that, these niggas had purses on. After that, I ain't seen them with purses. They ain't have no purses. Hey, what's up? A couple of brothers didn't have skinny jeans on either. So we just got more work to do. We just got more work to do to get our people from that to this. You know what I'm saying? We got to get our people from that to this. And that's why we go out every single week. That's why we are out here in the blazing sun or in the freezing cold to get our people up out of skinny jeans, to get our people up out of the line for their kids to go see a child molester called Santa Claus. You know what I'm saying? To stop celebrating all these false holidays and put our women in check, get our houses in order. In order for us to put our women in check, we have to first get in order. We have to get in check. We have to be corrected. We have to submit to a higher authority. I remember Captain Zariak used to say this all the time, and he still do. But he was saying how he tells brothers and who's like really coming into the school and whatnot, and the younger men, when they have issues with their ribs, he was like, you need to say kana on kan to me, just like I'm saying kana on kan to someone else, to another man. You know what I'm saying? Moreover, you need to say yes, sir, to me, just like you're saying yes, sir, to your boss. Your boss is only giving you some ends every now and again. I'm here to listen to your stories, to guide you, to protect you. You know what I'm saying? I'm laying it down. You know what I'm saying? I'm being a father to our kids, and you don't even want to say yes, sir, to me? Nah. That doesn't roll. That doesn't roll. We need to go from that to how the way this is, how the way this mother is, how the way these brothers are. Let's keep reading.
Khan, verse 15. Afterward, they brought the fifth also and mangled him. Then looked he unto the king and said, Thou hast power over men. Thou art corruptible. Thou dost what thou wilt, yet think not that our nation is forsaken of God.
So he's basically saying, just for time's sake, he's saying, and I love the way these brothers are always getting the last word. They're getting the last word. You know what I'm saying? He's saying, just because you have power, you killing me. And I'm bringing the scripture out, a number of times. I'm bringing this precept out a number of times. Don't fear them that has power to kill the man, but don't have the power kill the body, but don't have the power to kill the spirit. Fear them that they can kill the spirit, both the body and the spirit, the soul, and cast it into hell. He's saying you have the power to kill me, but I and my nation are of God's. And just because you have that power right now to kill me, don't think that God is the Most High has forsaken us. Don't think that the Most High has done away with us so that y'all can do anything that y'all want to do. Most High is taking account of everything that these oppressors are doing to us, and He's going to hold them accountable for everything that they have done. Don't think that our oppressors gotten away with murder, rape, robbery, theft, anything, everything, pedophilia, anything and everything that they have done to us, and they're still doing to us. The Most High has a record of everything that they're doing. That is why these bastards are being cut off, are going to be cut off. That is why. Not because, every nation on the face of this earth has had us in captivity at one point in time or another. But all those other nations are not being cut off forever. Only this nation. And the reason why that nation is being cut off, is going to be cut off forever, is because they're going overboard. They're doing stuff that they weren't supposed to be doing. They're doing stuff that they weren't supposed to be doing. For instance, I'm not saying summing it, boiling it down to this, but let's just say a boss tells one of his managers to go over there and give him, some extra work that he'll have to stay late. You know what I'm saying? That he'll have to stay late. Then that manager will go over to the employee and tell him, all right, well, you have to do, this amount of work, and you're gonna have to stay late. And the amount of work that you have to do that make you stay late would be 3 hours. You have to stay late 3 hours, and you have to do this until all this crap is done. It's going to take you months and months and months to do, right? When the boss was really saying you should do something that make him stay 30 minutes late. How do you equate the amount of work that the oppression that manager is putting on that employee to what the boss is making the manager do? We're supposed to be in captivity for a certain amount of time. We're supposed to have a certain amount of hard labor under this captivity. But instead, what we got was, our nation being cut off, our identity being cut off, our identity being stolen, our heritage being forgotten. You know what I'm saying? Us being punished for even trying to remember who we were. Being made to disobey the law. Just by having our heritage cut off from us, not knowing who we are. We can't even remember that that we are God's chosen people. We can't even remember that we're not supposed to eat swine, shrimp, crab, or lobster. We can't even remember that we're supposed to remember the Sabbath day, and the Sabbath day is Saturday, not Sunday. You know what I'm saying? We can't even remember the Passover. How about that? Without our identity. And because we don't have our identity, because it was taken from us, now we eat pork. Now we got F&F. You know what I'm saying? Now we got skinny jeans and purses for men. Now we got chokers for men. Now we got all this. We got abortions. You know what I'm saying? We got child support. We got all these things that the Most High absolutely hates for us. We got all these things that the Most High hates for us, and we're doing it with vigor because we don't know who we are. That's a small part of why they are going to be cut off. Now, just for time's sake, I gotta close this out. Just to let you know, all the brothers died. And when the mother was given an option to eat the swine's pork and just live out the rest of her days, she said la'ah. She said no. And she was destroyed as well. We need to go back to we would rather die than to break the Most High's law, statutes, and commandment. You understand? We would rather die than to eat pork. Now we got people over here saying, you know, if the pig was raised cleanly or if it was raised organically, we could still and then pray over it, then you could eat it. No. That's not how the way the Most High wants it. It's never the way the Most High wanted it. And you trying to blame it on or try to say that Christ, when Christ died, the laws are done away with. You're doing exactly what the oppressor has done to us when they brought us over here on slave ships. You're doing the exact same thing. We are to live and obey by our laws, statutes, and commandments, our culture, our heritage, our culture. You understand?
Come.
And with that, I'm going to close it out. Salakia, you got anything? Any questions? Last questions before I close it out?
Live, sir.
Most High in Christ. All right. Announcements, security announcements. Salakia, 1 second. Hold on, Salakia. If I All right, security announcements. We are I.S.U.P.K out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yahanna. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which a brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister shall get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, you can find this in the book of Numbers 18:21 and Malachi 3:8-10. Means 10th in Hebrew and is pronounced ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department or priest fund. Give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming Holy Convocation is Memorial of the Blowing of the Trumpets, which is the first day of the 7th month, which is Sunday, 25th September, 2022. You can find this in Leviticus 23, chapter 23, 24 through 25. Also, the New York the New York barbecue is happening in the month of August. Check with your camp leaders for the dates, or just go into ISUPK.com to check for the dates and the events that are going to be happening on the New York headquarters cookout. Remind Akim and Akwathian to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for I.S.U.P.K events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper, you should start wearing all black, which includes black boots, black shirts, black pants, black headbands, or scarf. And with that, Akim Akwathim, I say shalom.
Shalom. Yabashim Yashabrakatah.
Yazrakatah.